Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into this video, I would like to say, if you're new around here, I have two rules on this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule, that's for you to verify everything that you learn, whether it's on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. Verifying what you learn is so essential. So make sure that you do verify what you learn. So getting into the video, this video is going to be about high credit limits and the ugly truth regarding high credit limits. This is going to be a good one, so you want to stay to the end. But before I get into that, I would like to address something. Oftentimes I take out time on my channel to talk about certain things that are going on with this channel, in regard to this channel, in regard to YouTube. And as of late, I've been noticing a trend. And I could say as of the last year or so, honestly, I've been noticing a trend. I think what's being lost is the people. I get on here to educate people about credit cards and credit scores, mainly how credit cards and credit scores work. I don't really get into the points thing that much. There are different channels for that. Of course, I'm sure you all go to different channels, but my main reason for being on here is to teach people how credit scoring works and how credit cards work so they could get the most out of both of them. And one thing that I've been noticing on here is there's too much ego involved in regard to YouTube. Like, I'm on here to educate. I'm not on here to be the biggest and baddest. I'm on here to educate. I do it for the people. And I think what's lost on here is a lot of times people, they'll come by and they'll leave a comment, and their comment is centered towards proving me wrong. If you want to prove me wrong, that's cool. You can prove me wrong. Like I say, verify everything that you learn, whether it's on this channel or anywhere. However, this is not an ego measuring contest. I'm not going to sit up and get in an ego measuring contest with you. And that's kind of in relation to what this video is about. I'm not going to do that. I'm strictly here to educate people about what worked for me. My way may not be your way. You don't have to agree with my way. I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here to be everyone's favorite, because that's not going to happen, especially when you're trying to get the truth out. Now, my way of doing things and accomplishing things when it comes to credit scores and credit cards, some may say it's the boring and basic way. But guess what? It gets results. It's similar to the stock market. A lot of people, they don't like to invest in the S&P 500 because they say, it's boring. But one thing about the S&P, for those of you who know, it's consistent. And the same thing goes with my way of accomplishing a good credit score and managing these credit cards. It may not be your way. It may be boring. It may take too long. However, it gets results. And that's what I care about. I don't care about the ego stuff. So you don't have to do things my way. If my way doesn't work for you, that's fine. However, I'm on here to put things out for the people. That's who I care about. You are. I'm not going to engage in a back and forth ego contest in my comment section just because you feel like you got the best way of doing something. If you have the best way of doing something, then go and create a channel. I'll even shout you out and salute you so people could check you out. But I'm not going to have an ego measuring contest in my comment section. That's not happening. But anyways, getting into the video. So this video, as I stated, leaves off of a little bit of what I said. And when it comes to credit limits, you know, people always talk about high credit limits. If you search videos on YouTube regarding high credit limits, those are going to be videos with high amounts of views because everyone wants a high credit limit. And I often ask myself, I say, why do people want a high credit limit? And the main reason why people usually want a high credit limit is because they could spend more. But a lot of it is more psychological. A lot of people tend to want high credit limits because it gives you a high. And I'm going to be honest with you, some people can deny it, some people can admit it, but it gives you a high. And if you listen closely, you often hear people talk about the high that it gives them when they go and they apply for a certain credit card and they receive that approval message and it lets them know what their credit limit is going to be. If it's a high credit limit, people get ecstatic. They may not even spend a quarter of what their credit limit is. However, if the credit limit is high, they get ecstatic. And my question and my logic is, what's the point of a high credit limit for me? I'm speaking for me, so don't get in your feelings. But for me, what's the point of a high credit limit if I'm not going to spend a lot? What I like to do when it comes to my credit cards, I have multiple credit cards. And what I like to do is I like to allocate my money and set budgets on each card. So I'm not going to be someone that gets hit with an automatic credit limit increase because, as I stated, I allocate my spending on each card. So I'm not going to go over a certain amount of money for each credit card that I have. And it works for me. It helps me with my utilization. It helps me with my monthly budgeting. And as I stated, that way may or may not work for you. Maybe you're someone you desire a high credit limit, because please believe I'm not speaking against high credit limits, but maybe you're someone who desires a high credit limit and you want to spend as much as possible and you'll just pay back over time and carry balances. And that part is what I want to talk about in this video, because there is a danger that comes along with having a high credit limit and you don't have the income to match. Because there's a danger with having a high credit limit and you don't have the funds to match. Because let's say you have the income, because more than likely if you're getting a high credit limit, you're going to have the income. So let's say you have the income. However, your money is allocated to other things such as bills, and maybe you're paying back on loans, or maybe your money is tied up in a business or wherever it's tied up at. And you have this high credit limit and you're going out and you're doing this heavy spending. And let's say you come across a credit card that has a 0% APR intro bonus. So you have that 0% APR intro bonus card. You know that. So you go and you charge a heavy amount of money on that card because you like, hey, I have a big credit limit on this card. So you figure you'll just pay it back over time. You get the first 12 to 15 months, 0% interest. But let's say that 12 to 15 months is over with, you still have a high balance on that card because you've been doing more spending and you had to allocate your money elsewhere. Then you get yourself in trouble. And that's the ugly side of having a high credit limit. I know everyone talks about high credit limits and everyone desire to have high credit limits. It's something that you could beat your chest about. It's something that you could be proud of and happy about. However, if you are not in the position to manage that high credit limit the correct way and you don't have the discipline, you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. And honestly, that's what you're currently seeing people do, with debt being as high as it is, with the $1.14 trillion balances as far as credit cards are concerned. And I know some people personally who have multiple credit cards with high limits. However, they're in a big pile of debt, more than $50,000 in credit card debt. And some of them even higher than $100,000. And that's what tends to happen because people, they see a high limit and their eyes get big. And the main issue that this comes down to is people still haven't learned about credit cards. They still view credit cards as their money. The money with a credit card is not your money. You have to look at it as a loan. I like to look at it as a 30-day loan, meaning, hey, when I go and I spend this, I need to pay it back because I don't want to owe extra and I don't want to land myself in credit card debt because you never know what will happen on a month-to-month basis. So I'm thinking in the mindset of, hey, I need to pay this off. I don't need to be carrying over this balance. However, some people look at credit card credit limits as their money. So they go and they get approved for a $30,000 or a $40,000 credit limit and they're like, hey, I just came up on $30,000 or $40,000. No, you haven't. It means that the bank, whichever issuer that you're with, they're loaning you that $30,000 to $40,000 on a month-to-month basis, and they're expecting you to be responsible with it. However, they are also expecting you to carry over balances so they can make extra money from it, which is why they're lending you that credit limit. They're like, hey, this person, they have the income and they like to do a lot of spending, so they're a perfect target to slip up, carry balances, and we make extra money in fees and interest. It's a smart strategy by the banks. However, people, they're just following along and they think, hey, this bank gave me $40,000 for a credit limit. This is great. They think highly of me, when in reality is more than likely not that. But as I stated, high credit limits, of course, with anything, there are pros and there are cons. High credit limits can help your credit score. They can help with utilization. They can help with your debt to credit ratio. They can help with a lot of things in regards to, your credit score and your credit report. However, However, they could also land you in a lot of trouble if you are someone who does heavy spending and you don't pay off what you spend on a month-to-month basis. So be careful. I know a lot of you out there, you're new to credit cards and you say, hey, I want to figure out the best way to get a high credit limit. You go and you try to figure out the best way to do it. There have been a lot of videos on YouTube teaching you how to do it. And some of you go and do it and you get yourself in trouble. And then you have credit card debt and you're trying to figure out a way to get out of credit card debt. Hey, can I dispute this? Can I dispute that? When in reality, if you would have went about things the right way, things will have worked out in your favor. So if you're someone out there and you're considering and chasing after a high limit credit card, make sure you know what comes along with it. The main thing you need to do when you go after a high credit limit credit card is you need to be disciplined and you need to be responsible. Make sure you are those two things, because those two things will help you stay out of credit card debt and they'll protect your credit score. And that's what I care about over at this channel. But I just wanted to share this with you all because I notice there's a lot of blind competition on YouTube. People keep coming by and they leaving comments. Hey, this is not the way to do this. This is how you should do this. That's not the way to do this. Listen, do things your way. What works for you works for you. If it works for other people as well, you all can do it. However, over here, I teach my way and what works for me. You don't have to like my way. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like my content. I'm not here for people who don't like me or my content. I'm here for people who like my content and look at my content as something that's helpful. Everyone is not going to like my content. I'm aware of that. And I'm fine with that. Like I stated in the beginning, and I still mean that, even 12,000 deep in regards to subscribers, I still mean that. Whether I have 10 subscribers and 10 people watching or 1,000, no matter what it is, as long as people are being helped and they're getting results from these videos, that's what I care about. And that's going to continue to be what I care about as long as I'm talking about credit cards and credit scores. But I just wanted to make this video and share this with you all. I appreciate every single one of you who always come by, leave a comment, hit the like button, share my videos. You all are appreciated. But anyways, if you're new here and you're feeling the vibe, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video because I post often. That's clicking on that bell and selecting all. Also, this goes to every single one of you who are watching, including my subscribers. Hit the like button. It literally takes a second. It let the algorithm know that you support this channel and you support this video. Once again, I appreciate every single one of you for taking out time to watch this video. Listen, it's not a competition. I don't care about these credit cards and credit scores enough to get in an ego measuring contest with you all. You got it. You got it. But I'm here for the people. This is Water Your Soil, and I'm out. Hold on. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right? In the description box below, I always tell people, check out the description box below for extra resources from Water Your Soil. Part of the description box also showcases my book that I have. I have a book. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for years. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. The book is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. Most online bookstores have the book. And the book is basically about how FICO credit scoring works. Once you understand how FICO credit scoring works, you're pretty much on your way to helping yourself build, develop, and maintain a good credit score. So check the book out whenever you get a chance.